Hello. Um, I've not done a video in 3 days, or however long that is. Reason being, it's been quite intense. I've had to really sit down and evaluate how things are for me right now, how far I'm progressing, and at what speed. Um, and it all caught me off guard really, because just like with relationships with any sort of key worker, my key worker sort of challenged me on a few things that I wasn't really expecting, um, but it had to be challenged, and it was one of them kind of situations where I've got enough respect for the person where I sat down after and I thought, yep, they're onto something. So I've been thinking and thinking, and obviously I'm trying to promote my channel and all that sort of stuff. Um, so I'm gonna just basically just for any newbies, gonna give a very brief timeline. So I was very anxious as a kid. Went away to university, low self-esteem, hid behind alcohol, came up from university through losing in my head. Um, Mental health continued to deteriorate, addiction problems, alcohol addiction. Um, I held down a full time job whilst being in and out of acute wards, mental health wards. Um, Prolific self harmer. When I say prolific, it's not something I'm proud of. I'm just saying it as it is, really. 4 suicide attempts, two of them very serious. One of them, the doctor told my dad I might not see the night through. Both of them induced comas, both of them in the ICU ward. So that's kind of like me in a nutshell. Oh yeah, and I can't leave out the gambling. I'm also a gambling addict, unfortunately. Um, and so at this current stage, I've relapsed with my self harm over the last week or so, um, which I think I said in one of my older videos. Um, but I've kind of used it more as a learning experience, and instead of seeing it as 10 steps back, I see it as one step back. It's on to the next phase of my recovery now, which is um, getting back into the gym, getting that that feeling back of bossing it. You know what I mean? There's me and a lad in here. We're looking at joining a rugby team. He's a bit of a beast. I'd quite happily be a battering ram, so I wouldn't mind being sort of on the front row, and just basically running into people and getting smashed up. I think it'd be a good release for me as well. Um, so I've got all these different things in mind. Now my provisional release date is August 21. I've been now detained, sectioned for 12 months. I think it's 12 months, and I've been in where I am for about 2.5 years, give or take. And my old acute ward for 4 months. You're talking 3 years being institutionalised. Now the plan is to get to a place where I can leave where I am into supported living, but to do that I need to get a line of sight. For anybody who's watching that doesn't know what line of sight is where I've got someone with me 24/7 when I'm in the toilet, in the shower, because of my self-harm behaviours. I've got a lot of foreign objects inside my body. This might be quite difficult for people that knew me years ago to kind of comprehend. I can fully understand that, but maybe certain things might actually make sense now, a few years on. But a mate of mine as well gave me a good idea of signing up to Instagram. I have no idea how it works, but like using hashtags for the videos and stuff and getting them seen. Again, I don't know how that works, but I'll just hashtag things. I feel like a bit of an idiot doing it, but I'll do it anyway. But hashtags are a little bit outdated, but is what it is, isn't it? Medication. I don't really know if I've been through my medication. I'm basically a walking zombie. As it stands, before today, I was on 30 milligrams of diazepam with 10 milligrams extra. Now that is a lot of diazepam. I'm on the maximum of fluoxetine, also known as Prozac, which is an antidepressant and it has anti-OCD qualities. Pregabalin, which can be used for all sorts of things, nerve pain, epilepsy, but I'm on it for general anxiety. Cocodamol I've been on for about a year for pain through self-inflicted injuries. I'm on promethazine on an evening to help me sleep. I'm also on Depakote, which is also known as sodium valproate, which is a mood stabilizer. It's used a lot with people that suffer from bipolar disorder. Now, I had a diagnosis of BPD and OCD and anxiety, but that has been squashed. So now I'm kind of without one. So, I don't know what my diagnosis could be. There's a new consultant that's come onto the ward, so I'm hoping he can do some sort of assessment and give me a bit of an idea what's happening basically. I'm gonna take. When I came, another lad came to his hospital who since left, and he took me under his wing in the gym, and he passed on all his knowledge that someone had passed on to him from the SAS, and this is what I'm going to be doing with my mate here. I'm going to be passing on all the knowledge I know. I'm going to be putting him through his paces, as well as myself. We're going to get tip-top shape and hopefully join the rugby team. Although I don't know if there will be any rugby teams going based on the COVID. We'll see. So basically, what else am I on? Ramipril for blood pressure, because my kidney disease, and lansoprazole, which is just for heartburn. Anyway, what they're doing is I can't be on diazepam for the rest of my life, and I want to get off it because I'm sick of it making me feel just zombified all the time. So because I've been on it for so long, what they're doing is instead of 3 10 milligrams a day for a week in liquid form, I'm having 3 times 9 milligrams the week after, 3 times 8 milligrams the week after, 3 times 7 milligrams, until it's all the way down to 3 times 1, and then stop. So you can see just how acutely they are taking me off it, which I'm pleased about, because if they just took you off a medication like diazepam, you would end up suffering serious side effects, horrendous anxiety. I would dread to think. My observation levels, I just want to take the plunge. I'm looking to come off line of sight. I've been on it for a year now, and I kind of feel like in this last 3 days or so, I've had to what's the word I'm looking for? Have a look around so I can think of it. I've said reevaluate. Reflects, yeah, reflects probably a better word on sort of my course of action, and how it's going to go. So it'll be a case of doing some sort of volunteer work, probably gardening, because I absolutely love gardening. It's great for mental health. It's such a good distraction. I love my art. I absolutely adore it. Like, my art is incredible. The missing jigsaw to my life is just a normal life. And what I mean by that is, when I see, on Facebook, and I see people, getting engaged, having kids and stuff, it does make me really happy. It makes me happy to know that they're happy, if that makes sense. And it's something that I would have liked for myself, but I've accepted that I probably never will, because I'll always be unstable no matter how stable I get, and there'll always be that risk. And it probably sounds like I'm going around in circles, and everyone's heard all this in previous videos, and they probably have, but because people are, you get the odd subscriber, the odd few subscribers, they might not flick far enough back on my YouTube to know a real good timeline of what's sort of been going on. I forgot to mention all the different psychiatrists and psychology I had in the community before, obviously, I've got to where I am now, and it's a shame I've nearly had to lose my life to get here. Obviously, I can't really reveal where I am, as I always say, and I always say that because I always mean it, because it's part of the contract that was signed between me and the director. These are fantastic, so good. I mean, I am literally winging this video. honestly, there's no cue cards. I'm winging it. All my videos I wing it. I think there was only one that I didn't wing, and that was because I think it was one of my very first ones back, and I'd kind of lost my mojo, so to say. But ever since then, every single one I wing, because I feel like that's the best content you get, because instead of having to look at a cue card to remind you to say something, you can say it, and it's coming directly from the heart in essence, and that's why I like doing my videos in this format. Now I'm a brutally honest person, and I know that this might not scare people, but it might be a bit off-putting for people and all that sort of stuff, but it's something I pride myself on, and it's something that I'll continue to do. And just like you've probably all heard a million times, but again, I'm having to say this for people who haven't seen this kind of footage of me. I will always comment on the good and the bad days, because I don't think it's right, and I don't think it's fair to be doing all these videos and having a good day, leaving it for a few days whilst a bad day passes, and then reflecting the good day again. I think to me personally, and I'm not saying if anyone else does it differently, they're wrong or anything, but for me, for my own mind and peace of mind, I like to do it that way, because I feel like I'm being false if I'm not telling the true story. Sometimes I'll be a bit sensitive, because I know there could be people watching that, for example, a fellow self-harmer, and the last thing I want to be doing is giving anybody any ideas. It's weird, really, because I'm where I am, and I've had something called DBT therapy, which is split into 4 sections: mindfulness, emotional regulation, interpersonal effectiveness, distress tolerance. And then you got your wise mind accepts, which I think comes into, is it distress tolerance? It's all stored up there somewhere, and it kind of it teaches you to maybe, like, how can I put it? Maybe have a different outlook on life, maybe, if that's the right word. Word saying whatever, but as long as I'm using the skills to the best of my ability, and I know I am, I'm not perfect. I've been dealt a card of mental health and addiction. I'm not going to hide behind it and use it as an excuse for everything, because there's certain things, if I could go back and do them, I definitely would. It's not nice to think about the things that I have got wrong. It can sometimes, I can feel myself filling up slightly, and I really don't really like doing it on these videos, but like I said, this is me, so I've got to be honest, haven't I? All my family are fantastic, and my friends, and all you people who support me. I couldn't ask for more. I really couldn't. I get so much love. I get so much love, and it means the world, literally, because when I started this, and I sound like a blooming parrot, me, because I come out with the same terms every single time, but it's the only way I know how. Do you know how many lives I wanted to change? Just one. One was good enough for me. Um, and I know from feedback I have changed somebody's life because I've given them the courage to seek support. And I'd like to keep striving forward for my own recovery, and in turn, I want to help other people recover. And I don't want to, I don't want people to make the same mistakes I did. Like, for example, I love to go to university lecture and talk about my experience with alcohol and low self-esteem, and how I used to get absolutely obliterated on nights out to simply feel that I didn't look like a piece of dirt and that I fit in and all that. And I loved. It sounds weird, but it's my dream to get up and talk in front of 1,000 people about my experience and how I can help, and also how I can help loved ones that are watching somebody go um, through it, because you people are just as important. And I've seen, I can see, just sometimes just by the look on my family's face, I can see the worry. And I like my upbringing. I couldn't have asked for a better upbringing. I really couldn't. My dad's the best man I've ever met in my life. Um, I want to be my dad. I really do. I admire. I admire him, everything about my father, as a man, as a husband, as a father, everything. I admire. I admire my mother. That bond being mother you will always have. No one can ever take that away. And I get on really well with my two sisters, very well. If it wasn't for my younger one, I would probably be dead by now. Because she had the intuition on them particular nights, two bad ones, to come up to my flat. I've been in two relationships as well. Sort of through my 20s. I'm 30 now, 31 in November. First one ended without any real closure, and it still haunts me to this day. The second one, again, I suppose that ended without closure, and that doesn't haunt me quite as bad, because I know we both were in the right state of mind for a relationship. Who knows? I might never be. My family seems to think I need someone who's around my age or older, someone who's seen life, been through things. And I tend to agree, if I'm completely honest with you. So, what was the purpose of this video? Number one, I've not checked in a few days, and I'm looking at the clock because I want to get it wrapped up in 30 minutes. I'm on 25 minutes, 33 seconds now. So number one was to just check in, because I haven't last few days, because I've had a lot on myself. I've had a lot of soul searching, I've had a lot of decisions to make in my mind. Number two, I wanted to give you a update on my medication, and by the way, I'm on a gram of Depakote. I forgot to mention the dose. You can go up to 2 grams, but I'm on 1 gram at the moment. That's the mood stabilizer. Number two was to provide, hopefully, for all you people, some insight, first of all, because I do expect, I'm optimistic that I will keep getting subscribers, and I'm optimistic that those subscribers won't all be people with mental health problems. It could be a mother, father, daughter, son to someone who's got mental health problems, and it's all about helping the sufferer and the people watching the suffering. Now, like I said, I want to have a good sit down and write down a real structured sort of page on each element. I want to do a video one for each one, so that way I can sort of like zone in on one topic, if that makes sense, rather than it being a kind of general video. This general video I feel like was needed because I've got a few more subscribers to this channel, so I didn't want them to have flicked and missed the previous timeline. Look, I'll always be a risk. It doesn't matter how well I get in my brain. It doesn't matter how well I get in my brain. I'll always be a risk. I could get fantastic, and in 10 years' time have a relapse, and I just can't believe I'm still here. I really can't. The amount of times I've tried it. I'm still here to tell the tale. Somebody up there, he's trying to tell me, John, it's not your time. Whether you like it or not, it's just not your time. So my inbox is always open. Again, I always say it, and I will always say it if I remember to do it on every single video, and that goes for anyone regarding mental health and addiction. I'm hoping this has shed a bit of light for people who haven't seen me for a while, and also people who are suffering, and I want to bring some comfort to them, and also to the people that love them and are watching them go through it. And just watch this space, because there'll be very structured videos coming up. I really thank you all so much for watching, and it means the world to me. Goodbye.